Hi guys, how's it going? Blue here, welcome to Cubeorithms. This is the luxurious set, and for some reason, in my mind, I thought it was the ludicrous set, but they spelled it wrong, but then I was wrong. This is a set of puzzles that will jumpstart your collection. It has all of the fundamental basic puzzles that you would get when you're starting a collection. It's got them all, including Matt's Valk. He's not in the box though. Obviously. What I think is kind of funny is that it says 3x3 cube world record 4.74 seconds, which that is an outdated fact. That is no longer the world record. But whatever. More than a professional cube. I think they mean that there's more than one professional cube. There are several. Maybe? I don't think that's what they really mean. Oh, here we go. This is good information. There's 8 in 1. Luxurious set, cubes for a beginner. I like how they changed the color of the eye. I don't get it. I don't know why they did that, but whatever. Here's the back. It looks like this shows what's gonna be in here. 2, 3, 4, Mirror Cube, Pyraminx, Megaminx, Ivy Cube, and Scube. So there's some spoilers for what's happening later. And secret tutorial for magic cubes. With magic cube tutorial inside. Cool beans, let's just get into this then. It's got the nice little handle, so you have a little carrying case for your puzzles. That's really nifty. So I'll try not to hurt the box while I open this. Okay, so it's got this little flap which can come out. And then this comes undone. Ta-da! Pull this. Okay, so this actually unfolds. Cool. So here is the tutorial booklet, and it looks like, so we got some 3x3 stuff, and it is in English, and it has regular cube notation. So we'll see how useful that is. And then, okay, so we got the 4x4, 5x5 pictures. Okay, here's Megaminx, Scube, Pyraminx, Ivy Cube. So it looks like, okay, n square 1. So there's some tutorials in here for puzzles that are not actually in the box. So that's cool. Oh, there's some study notes, and the back page is for study notes. That's cool. It looked like the only thing that there wasn't a tutorial for was the mirror cube, but that's okay. Da-da-da-da. So this box is a pretty nice box. If this was the start of my collection, I'd probably hold onto the box to have it be a little carrying case, but I probably won't do that in real life because I already have a shelf specifically for puzzles. So yeah. So here's all of the puzzles, and it looks like some of them say which one they are, other ones don't. So like this is the QiYi 2x2, the QiYi 4x4, but then this one just says SpeedCube. It looks like it's a Warrior W. This is the QiChanga Scube. This one just says SpeedCube again. This is just the QiYi Mirror Cube. Again, just big speed cube, and then, whoopsie, the Mofangi Ivy Cube. And every one of them has a picture of Matt's Valk. I feel like this would make a good thumbnail for like an April Fool's video, or just something that's a joke video about Matt's Valk. So these 4 are the same, these 3 are the same, and then that's a unique one. That's cool. Hello, Matt's Valk. If you're watching this, I respect you. Okay, let's actually get into some puzzles now. So I think the best place to start out would be with the 3x3, and we'll get into the other cubes later on. There is a link in the description to purchase this set, just so you know. Okay, so in the box there's a little pamphlet, and out comes the cube. Okay, so yeah, pretty sure this isn't just a Chi Warrior W, this is maybe a Warrior W version 2, maybe a version 3? I'm not an expert, and I should be. It's my job. Let's do some turns. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So it's a budget cube. All of these are kind of like, they're not cheap. They're not like unprofessionally cheaply made, but they are inexpensive and kind of, I mean, the box itself said suited for beginners, and I would definitely agree with that these are very well suited for beginners. If you are just getting into cubing, this is gonna suit your needs for a long time, for learning how to solve it and learning how to speed solve it. It is more than fast enough. Color shades are distinct and they look pretty good. Corner cutting, a little bit stiff, not quite one piece, about one piece. Yeah, one piece with a little bit of force. which with breaking in and setting up, that could get better for sure. Let's just bring in the 2x2 and 4x4. So out comes a 2x2 and a pamphlet, and out comes the 4x4 and a pamphlet. So we'll do some turns on the 2x2 here. Okay. Again, good, not great. Definitely good enough for a beginner. It's just normal turns are smooth. It feels like it's pretty tight. It can't corner cut 45 degrees. And yeah, it's just kind of suffering in the corner cutting department. But definitely good enough for a beginner. It might just be a little bit tight. Yeah, that feels pretty tight. If I were to take a screwdriver in there to that screw and loosen it up a little bit on all sides, I'm sure it would improve. And using some lubricant would also help a lot. And the 4x4. Yet again, that feels kind of tight. Again, definitely smooth, definitely high quality enough for a beginner. I know it might not sound like I'm very overwhelmingly positive about the way that these feel. One thing that is definitely worth mentioning is that they all feel very sturdy. Like they're tight and they need some breaking in, but these, I mean, as I'm turning this, I do not feel like it's gonna fall apart. I feel like it is very well put together and well built, which I think is important for a beginner, especially if you get this set and you just stick with these puzzles for a long time. They're gonna last a while and you can bring it to school, and as long as nobody there is particularly obnoxious, they're not gonna get broken, hopefully. Don't quote me on that. They don't feel like they would get broken, which I think is a very important quality, even more so than really good turning. Stability, sturdiness. What is the word I'm looking for? Durability, that's the one. These do feel very durable. It looks like the shades on the 4 and the 2 are a little bit different than the 3x3. The 3x3, the yellow maybe looks a bit more saturated, maybe a little bit darker. Reds are all the same, white's all the same. Orange, yes, the 3x3 definitely has a more, I guess, saturated looking orange. Same for the, I guess the green is about the same. And the blue, definitely a darker blue on the 3x3. But the 2 and the 4 seem to have the exact same sticker shades. These are all way better than the 3, 2, and 4x4 that I started with when I started cubing. When I first started, the ones that I had were pretty terrible, but they definitely got the job done for teaching me how to solve it. And if I had started with these, I could have gotten more into speed cubing way earlier. They're definitely not the best, but they will certainly get the job done above and beyond. Just like, I don't know, maybe I'm being too nice. They're good. Let's check out the Cube, Pyraminx, and the Ivy Cube all together. They're all fairly similar. Again, with the pamphlets. Jeez Louise. Whee. I don't know why I would need a pamphlet for an Ivy Cube, but whatever. The thing about these pamphlets, real quick, is that they're fairly useless because they are in Asian writing, which is, well, I guess, never mind. I take that back. This side of it is in English. The pictures are fairly small and the translation is often fairly difficult. So like, as an example, rotate the bigger tip and make tips on every facet same color as its centerpieces. Like, you can kind of interpret what that means, but sometimes they're a little bit difficult to follow, definitely more so than a YouTube video. Or I think that the booklet that comes with it is a lot more useful than the pamphlets. So I don't think the pamphlets are extraordinarily necessary. Anyway, here's the Pyraminx. Woo. So this is the Cube, Pyraminx, and Ivy Cube. Let's start out with the Pyraminx, which I think is more fundamental to have than either of these two. If you're not going for this set, I would get a Pyraminx. So it's got the QiYi logo on it, and it is fairly well shaded. I like that blue. I think that's good. Some Pyraminxes are a little bit darker. I think that is the perfect color of blue. Okay, let's do some turns. Oh wow, that is fast. It's a little clacky. Does it have a ball bearing mechanism? It does not look like it has a ball bearing mechanism. It's definitely snapping. I think there might be magnets in here, but wow, that turns good. It feels maybe a little bit loose this time around. The pieces that might be, you might have to pop off a center cap, and under here, there's a screw, and you can give that a little tighten or a little loosen to suit your needs. The looser it is, the more likely it'll fall apart. It's up to you, man or lady. You can customize it however you want. Yeah, those tips are feeling good. They do have a little bit of a snapping mechanism to get them in place, which is good. Finger trickable tips are the way to go. It is a little bit loud. Not the loudest that I've ever seen, but it does sound kind of clacky, but that's a pretty good Pyraminx. Let's try the Scube. I'm not gonna impress you guys as much with the Scube because I'm not very good with Scube. The clicking in place is definitely more subtle than on other Scubes that I've felt in the past, which might be a good thing because it's not as loud and it is easier to turn that way. Feels maybe a little bit tight. The sticker shades are the same as the rest of the puzzles, very distinct. And I mean, right out of the box, that turns pretty darn good. Let's try the Ivy Cube. So the Ivy Cube is kind of like a mix between a Scube and a Pyraminx. It's like a Scube, but instead of turning on all the corners, it just turns on 4 of them. So it's easier than a Scube, but it's not a WCA event. It's a non-WCA puzzle. So it's just an easy one to pick up and do every now and again. But geez, that turns very smoothly. It feels like this does not have a clicking mechanism to get the pieces in place. Like on the Pyraminx and the Scube, you can hear that click and it kind of locks it into alignment. The Ivy Cube does not have any of that. So it does get a little bit misaligned, but it's not a speed solving puzzle. It's just a puzzle for fun. So that's okay. Solid. These all turn really good. I am impressed. Let's get into the last puzzles of the set, the Megaminx and the Mirror Cube. And the Mirror Cube itself actually comes in plastic wrap. This is the first of them that is plastic wrapped. Interesting choice, but that's cool. Whoop. Okay, nice. So because it was in that plastic wrap, this looks very clean. It is quite shiny, which is cool. You can see my reflection. Let's see if I can get it. There's the camera reflection. And if we look down a little bit and I move my head over to the side, you can kind of see me maybe. Ooh, that's not, at first I thought that was a sticker coming up, but that was just a little smudge. Ooh, it's getting smudgy with my hands. That's kind of weird. Okay, whatever. Anyway, let's get into some turns. And yes, just as I expected, it turns very smoothly, like a Speed Cube. Feels very durable, just like the rest of the set. And as you mix it up, it begins to shapeshift, which is a very, very cool thing. The Mirror Cube is one of my favorite puzzles of my collection. I think that this is such a interesting puzzle to have early on because you solve it using the same method as a 3x3, but instead of colors, it's shapes. And it is very, I guess it's a lot different, but also a lot the same. It's a very unique puzzle. It's a simple idea, but it's held up to the test of time, I guess, for me at least. This puzzle never fails to interest me. One of my favorite things to do with a Mirror Cube is mix it all up and then blindfold myself and feel the pieces to try to get it back together, because it's not as hard as you would think to do that. And definitely early on with a collection, I think the Mirror Cube is a good addition, so I'm really happy to see it in this set. Now Megaminx, another interesting, whoops, I ripped the box. Megaminx is another interesting, holy smokes. Sorry, I keep trying to start a sentence, but this is a big Megaminx. This thing is chunky. Okay, so this is the QiYi Megaminx, and I am surprised because a lot of Megaminxes these days have been kind of downscaled and have a more sleek look, but this one is just like chunker. I think it's normal, its actual just like size isn't so big, but I think the way the stickers are and like the corners look big, I think that's actually a good thing. I feel like this looks like a more challenging puzzle because it's so thick. The Megaminx, I think, is a very important one to have somewhat early on because it uses a similar method to the 3x3, but there are a few extra things in there and it just looks like a Rubik's Cube on steroids, so it's cool. It's a cool one to have. Let's do some turns. Oh, nice. Yeah, this feels smooth. Okay, getting a little hung up there. Oh, this is more than good enough for a beginner. This feels good. One thing I'm really noticing is that these sticker shades look very good. They are distinct and they fill up the puzzle very well, and I like them. This is a good Megaminx. I gotta say, getting all of these puzzles as a set is a huge Kickstarter to any collection. These 8 puzzles, I think that QiYi, when they were putting together this set, made really good choices for which puzzles to throw in here. Definitely you want a 3x3 to start off your collection because that's the basic. And then a 2x2 and a 4x4. A lot of times you'll have a 5x5 as well, but the 4 and the 5 are pretty similar. So taking out the 5x5 was probably a good choice. Definitely Pyraminx, Megaminx, and SpeedCube are other WCA events that are fairly quick, and it is other stuff to learn because the SpeedCube, Pyraminx, and Megaminx all use different methods. So there's a lot of learning potential there. Mirror Cube, I definitely agree with because it's just like a 3x3, but definitely a lot different and very cool. Not a WCA event, but that's okay. It's good to have some WCA and some non-WCA puzzles for the joy of puzzle solving. So it's not just about speed, but also about fun. I think maybe it's because I'm old fashioned. I think the Ivy Cube is cool. I think it's probably the one that sticks out the most here as potentially not belonging in a starter kit. It's definitely an easy puzzle, but it's non-WCA, and I think that it's definitely a cool puzzle to have. I think the Ivy Cube came out pretty long after I started cubing. All of these other puzzles were around and were some of the early ones that I had in my collection. So maybe I'm just biased to my own experience. I think it might have been cool if they had thrown in maybe a square one or another WCA puzzle, or maybe another non-WCA puzzle like a different shape mod, or I don't know. I mean, the Ivy Cube is definitely a good puzzle. For sure, no doubt, no doubt. I think you guys get what I'm saying though. There is a tremendous amount of value in this luxurious set. This is, if I was new to cubing and I didn't have a cube, or maybe I just had one 3x3, this is a great investment. This is really all, this will set you for a long time. You can get a lot out of all of these puzzles. Definitely the WCA ones, but even the Mirror Cube and the Ivy Cube, these will take you a long way with your collection. If you get this, it could be a long time before you need more. I think that the luxurious set would give any new SpeedCuber a huge head start with their collection and their speed cubing careers. After getting the most out of this set, I would probably look at some bigger N by Ns like a 5x5 or 6x6, and then just go from there. If you guys are interested in picking up this set, whether it be for a birthday gift for somebody else or a Christmas gift for somebody else or for yourself or for whatever reason, do it at SpeedCubeShop.com. Don't forget to use the code BLUE when you check out. That helps to support me. Thank you very much to SpeedCubeShop for sponsoring this video. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye! Also, thank you to my patrons and the people who buy my t-shirts. Okay, bye.